I was telling my mom, I said, I'm not sure if this is giving Mo 1960s or 2020s. She was like, what do you mean? I said, no.
We
And she was
we're
like,
trying to press record. We go good. Look, go about to say good morning. Whatever time you watching this, hello and welcome to the Real or Parenting. I am your co-host Kiana Shaw Tatum. I gotta change that.
yes, yes. Say it again before they can hear you. I don't think they heard you.
Kiana Tatum. I love
Yes,
it. I love it. That's exciting. That is really
it
exciting.
is. It is. And I'm therapist Danielle.
But I didn't say this is my co-host. And we
It's
are
all right.
back. We're back for a brand new season of The Real on Parenting here in the Brownstone Worldwide neighborhood. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Like it's been a minute, Danielle.
A minute.
It
It's
has
been
like
nice.
yeah, we've had a lot going on though, y'all. From
It's been
like
life
life
in.
has been life in.
It's been life in. It is. It
But
has.
it's been some hard times, it's been some great
Some
times,
great
right?
times. Right.
And because we are friends in real life, we've been there for it all. We've been there for it all.
Yes, we have. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Oh, girl, listen, where would I be? Other like what I'm doing other than being your friend, right? Like and I appreciate you. Like you came out and supported and was a part of my bridal squad. Like I absolutely adore you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are my top 10 for sure. You know what I
I
mean? Like that
appreciate
includes
that. I
everybody.
appreciate
That
that.
includes everybody.
Yes, I appreciate that. If you didn't hear the first two drops, if you will, we have Mrs. Tatum in the house. And and yes, she is
Change the
officially my
name.
friend's
Hold
married
on.
now.
Let
Okay.
me So we've been talking about like how we gonna do this name situation because all of my business stuff is under Shaw, so I don't want to lose Shaw, right?
Mhm.
But it wasn't like he was gonna take on Shaw, so we have
Right.
so so Shaw is gonna be moved into more of a middle name. It won't be hyphen Shaw Tatum, but I am gonna keep Shaw, but Tatum is my new last name. So I'm excited about it. And we're gonna talk all about that in another episode because it's a lot to share. When it's happy stuff, it's a lot to share. And I want to share it with y'all. So I'm excited about that.
Officially part of the bonus mommy club, okay?
Liz, okay,
As we
okay,
talk
yeah. See,
about
that's
these
a whole other
topics in
show. That's a whole other
co-parenting.
show because I'm excited. I mean, nothing is without challenges, right? But
Right.
um, my two oldest bonus kids left for college yesterday, and we
Wow.
went and hung out last Sunday, and their mom tells my husband, she was like, "I'm glad we married her."
I
Sick.
heard that. And I'm glad that she understood the assignment, okay? She might not have
Listen,
known she was giving it, but she passed.
she has had nothing but amazing things to say to me and about me, and I really appreciate it because I thanked her. I was like, "Thank you for letting me into this space," right? Because we were at their daughter's graduation, our daughter's graduation, and I was like, "Thank you for letting me into your space." You know what I mean? And she was just like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, because I understand that it's not necessarily easy. Now, granted, they've been apart for 15, 20 years. Like, you know what I mean? It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Um, but it's still a matter of like, you still may not want to be bothered with me, but you let me into this space. And, we got a real hostile Uno game cracking. Uh, that's right up my alley.
Right.
And so it's been fun. And
Mhm.
so, I called to check, like, hey, you good? Because, the kids leaving. And she was just like, no, I'm good right now, but we made a plan to, do lunch and if she
Huh?
needs to cry because the babies is gone, because
Right.
they're babies. And both of them
Exactly.
left at the same time. So even though they're a year apart, but I'm just like, listen, let's get it. Like you don't have to make an enemy out of me, and I don't have to make an enemy out of you, and we can be
Right. Right.
amazing co-parents and we
Ex-
can be really cool. Like you know what I'm saying?
And
Not
you
best
can.
friends, but we
Yes,
can be
it does
friends.
exist. Right.
Yes.
Right.
And so now we
Yes. It
following
does
each other on
exist
social
for
media and
those who
everything.
you
And
didn't
I'm
hear.
excited because we talk about the real on parenting. And like I said, it's not without challenges, but I don't have any challenges with her. You understand what I'm saying? And so
Right.
um I love that I can focus on the positive of like this relationship and all the things that come with it. Um, and then our kids get to see, you know what I'm saying? Like my daughter is just like, like do I call her Miss or Auntie? You know,
Right,
but
right,
she
right.
introduced me to someone near and dear to her as her sister and my daughter as her niece. And I love that as well because it's like the reality is we are a family. Your kids, right? Y'all's kids together, and then me marrying him makes us a family. And so we're gonna do what we need to do to make sure that everything is healthy and whole. And I'm excited. Like it has started off great and we just gonna pray for the rest, right?
Yes, yes.
And I want to encourage people. Sometimes, we as adults, we get in our minds that we don't like somebody or that we do like somebody, and that's the end of it, right? But life is full of the ups and downs. There's ebbs and flows, and there will be changes, there will be challenges, but how we start does not have to be how we finish unless we choose it,
Mhm.
right? And so if there is a situation where you're not sure, you're uncertain, like give it an opportunity. Because one thing I remember my best friend saying to me years ago when I was dealing with Kayla's dad in that situation, she said, "Are you giving her a chance to be an amazing bonus mom? Like
Mhm.
Angela is an amazing bonus mom to you." And I wasn't. I was not giving her a chance at that time,
Mhm.
but just because of
Yeah.
circumstances. And it was like, first of all, you got to deserve a chance. Like,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
as I have grown and I have matured, and I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago, right?
As you should not.
Come on here.
Right.
But that
Right.
being said, like there is a joy in looking back and going, wow, I've come from so, you know what I mean? It's like looking at
Yes.
your journal and seeing all the answered prayers,
You should
right?
evolve. You
Right. And
should progress.
I'm living inside of an answered prayer. And so how
Mhm.
dare I not progress? How dare I not, evolve as a woman, as a mom, and now a wife, as a business owner? Like there's so many things as a friend, as a daughter.
Mhm.
Like there has to be evolution happening at all times. And I think that sometimes we get stuck and then we don't know how to course correct. And I think it's always okay to pause and go, you know what? Let's course correct. And that's not our situation, but I'm saying that to encourage people. Life can look how you want it to look. It does not have to be full of drama. It does not have to be full of chaos. It absolutely can be a joyous occasion, but you got to do the work. You
I
got to
was
do the work.
just about to kind of do a little reframe with a therapeutic twist on it. So it's all about the journey
Come on now, because my thug
of
nature stops
healing.
that.
Yeah, you have to do the inner work. And the inner work is usually is ugly. It's a fight because you're fighting for something that's a total opposite of you, typically what you innately want to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we had that conversation last night because we were talking about a time where I had to where Kayla wanted something and I didn't, right? And in my prayer, because I try to before I know everybody ain't spiritual, but I am, right? So I try to go to God and be like, listen, this is the situation. And God was as clear as I can hear you. And I be questioning people that can hear God audibly, like,
Mhm.
uh but as clear as I can hear you, like he was like, call them, invite them
Mm.
over. And I was just like, why?
I
Like
didn't
I
hear it
looked
enough. I
up.
was like, yeah,
When I tell you, I
I
looked up at the ceiling and I absolutely verbally was like, why? Like I had all the attitude. God got all the smoke from me on that day. But it taught my daughter, right, that even in the midst of chaos, like you can choose differently, right? And it also taught her, mommy will put your needs first, like your desire and all that. So that brings us to our topic today in a
yeah.
roundabout way.
Hmm.
Because Danielle, y'all, and I am blaming you absolutely. I absolutely am. Danielle is like, listen, some of these kids are real pansy. Like, we got to figure out. That's not the word she used. She didn't say
It's not.
it.
It's not. We're gonna get all the comments if you say what I said, but it's this the honest truth. It's like, what kind of kids are we raising? Not what kind of kids do we want to raise? What
Right.
kind of kids are we raising?
And so our topic today, are look, all these W's and R's.
Right.
Are we raising wimpy, whiny wusses?
And you can insert the phrasing that goes more appropriate with that in your household under your roof. So you get
Right.
what I'm saying. Yes.
So when Danielle asked me the question, I was just like clutching my pearls, right? But before y'all start sending us angry emails, and just hear us out because we're not saying that kids are not smart or creative, right? Like we're not saying that at all. Because our kids really are amazing. And Danielle and I particularly feel our two children are African. And I can add my
They
bonus
are.
kids. Like
And is, as
they
they say.
really are some amazing kids. But um the, okay, and they're tech savvy, they're resourceful. Like this is a generation of like let's get it. Um, but they also lazy, right? And they're also, you
And I'll
know,
say lazy from our view, from our perspective.
right, because we grew up in a different time. Like we grew up when we not wanted to know something, we had to go to the library. Like we had to actually learn how to use the library. You know what I mean? We didn't have, when our teachers
Resource
told us,
cards, look
right,
it
we
up.
didn't. Our teachers said things like, you're not going to always have a calculator in your pocket. Now we always do now, but these our
Hmm.
kids have access that we did not have. And I think that while they are brilliant, Lord have mercy, like they fall apart as soon as they hear no. And as I'm volunteering at the school, as I'm working with teenagers, I have a training and development company. So as I'm working with youth, I'm just like, did we overcorrect everything? Like just
And
as a
we did.
generation,
And
huh?
we did. And
We
we
did.
did.
Okay. So
Yes.
so
And we
all right,
are.
well, I
And I'm
can go to
saying
the next topic then.
we
Let's go to the
no,
next episode.
when I say overcorrect, but when you say overcorrect, like overcorrect doesn't necessarily mean like a positive thing. Like when it's said, it sounds good, but in reality, what does that look like? Hence the reason the topic of today's show, because there's aspects of learning how to be independent.
Yes.
But within that, we come from a generation from emotion. The word itself was knowledgeable. Our parents knew what feelings were. However, in real life and in reality, were they shown? Were they
Right.
talked about?
Right.
If it was something that you did not want to do, and I was speaking from the big picture, you may have thought it, but even within that, they had some kind of telepath going on because they kind of saw our thoughts as well. I don't know how they really did that. However, they did. And
It
with
was
them
very
having,
quick to be like, what you say? Like
right,
I never said it. I never
with them having that gift, put us in a position to learn how to internalize, keep in, hold how we felt, and not verbalize or externalize it. And we would get many phrases like, why are you crying? Well, you just yelled at me.
well, I didn't get why you crying. I got stop crying before I give you something to cry. But
Too. Uh, or what's wrong with you? In my head, the
just
opposite.
completely unintelligent, emotional.
So it's more so that aspect that we were put in a position where our human,
Hmm.
the natural response to something was questioned as if it was wrong or as
Right.
if you weren't supposed to feel that way.
But it taught us resilience, right? Like it
To
taught
a
us,
certain degree, yes.
and I
To a
think that
certain degree,
we grew up when everybody did not get a participation trophy. You either won or you
that's
lost.
very true.
If you know what I
Very
mean?
true.
And I think that
Yes.
that is something that we have spoiled our kids with everybody wins and everybody gets something. No, because once you leave your parents' home, it's winner takes all. The end. Like I have yet to get like, oh, well, you didn't get the contract, but we do want to come and give you a hug and thank you for
Right.
applying. Like they don't do that. They do not do that in the
That
real
was an
world.
option. But
Like
exactly.
I got
Exactly.
paid. And that was they thank you. They did not come and be like, hey, thank you so much for all the work you did. They don't do that. They go, did you get your check? Then move on.
Right.
But our kids really feel like they have to get something and they have to and listen, I'm gonna say this because I am definitely the parent. Like when my daughter tells me that something has gone wrong, my default is to fix it.
It is.
If that little boy
As it's
said what to you? Okay,
and what you
and
say.
what the teacher said, but see, I don't say what you say. I want
No,
to know
I
what the
say
teacher
what you
said.
say, and I'm on my way. That those are the same message in one.
Yeah,
That just my
but
daughter has
so in the
learned that.
recent situation, I was like, what the
Like,
teacher say? And she was like, I asked the teacher, like, so you just gonna let him talk to me like that? And she didn't say anything. And
great
I was
question.
like, okay, let her know that she got a meeting with me on Monday. Like, not do she have time, just she got a meeting with me on Monday.
Hmm.
Because I know you
And
got a
she
prep
did.
period or something. If you don't, oh well, but
It's okay.
you
You'll
got
figure it
lunch
out.
and I'm
You'll
off.
figure it out.
So right. And I got all day after school. We could talk at 6 a.m. because I'm up at 3:30 every morning, right? Like that's where
Lord
my
have
mindset.
mercy.
But is that hindering my daughter, right? Because it's like he said something like telling me his raggedy mama, like you can't say that, but you know what I mean? Like that's kind of my I be trying not to
It's
default to
it's like where did that level of creativity go? And when you coming for someone, I want to
because
know,
my
like,
clap back is anointed, okay?
did we not pass that on as well? Because I'm like, what did you say? And I get, do you say this? She's like, what's the problem? He didn't already cross the line.
You
She
know
didn't cross the
why?
line.
Because you probably was like, did you tell her that her mama did you
And
tell her bald-headed granddaddy? Like what?
I'm like, put this in your phone, put it in your notes. We got an ongoing log going already. Somebody say this, you say this, but it's your option. It's like, how you do that so quick? And I'm just like, how do you not? But it's like there's aspects of it, it goes into it, it goes from very minimal to very major,
Right.
where we see the impact that it has as we
Absolutely.
as parents are obviously trying to do something different, you know, obviously having our children's life not be our lives, their reality be their reality
Right. Give them a
and not our
better life
reality.
than what we had, a better future. Like the whole let's do and I listen, because I please don't get me wrong, because I believe in grace and compassion. I believe in
Mhm.
validating feelings. Jesus himself wept. Okay. Like
Right,
he also
right,
flipped
right.
over some tables, and that's the side that mama be defaulting to. And I'm trying to come back. You know what I mean? It's just like, because I get it. Like flipping over tables is not for every situation. Jesus he had a sharp tongue. Like I know people like coffee mug Jesus, but the whole bless you and everybody making it to heaven. Nah, that is not. That's just wasn't a thing. So I'll be like on the other side, like, calling people sons of vipers, which was to me the original SOBs, but I'm not gonna put that on the Lord. But I do feel like while we are training our children up in the way that they should go, that training means practice, it means discipline, it means endurance. And if we are stopping in the middle of everything,
Right.
oh my, they said what they did what and we never teach our children to fight back and not just to other kids because I absolutely have banter with Kayla so that because I want her to understand how to disagree with adults respectfully and
Yeah.
not back down just because they're adults. Like if you being respectful in your disagreement, which she has been utilizing a lot in her history class right now, as they are talking about Black history, and she like, no, 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 because I listen to urban intellectuals. I'm on the
Hmm.
convo with Lamar Tyler and Freddie
Hmm.
Taylor. Like she like, nah, that's not true.
Right,
She pointing
right,
out the facts,
right.
but she's
Yeah.
doing it respectfully. The teacher
Hmm.
may not necessarily like it, but
See it
she's
in
not
that
being
way. Yeah.
right. Well, because you're teaching a history, I believe the word he used was underpaid servants.
What's the
No.
underpaid service?
Right. Because yeah. Because they wasn't paid. They were slaves. Like they were enslaved. Like let's so yeah. So as she is interjecting, she's doing it respectfully, but it's because we have she's allowed to disagree with me. Now there, because I am mama, like sometimes I'll be like, listen, all your disagreements need to be internalized. Because at this moment, the correct response, I got this from you, Danielle, there was correct
Mhm.
responses.
Is what?
It's yes,
Hmm.
mommy.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
we moving on. But I definitely think that the question of are we raising wimpy, whiny wusses is valid in today. But I also know that you come from a very professional therapist perspective. But you got a
About
little hood in you
85% of
because
the
we still
time.
two girls from Compton. Like, let's not
Right.
play.
About
Uh,
85% of the time. That's a training aspect. Every now and then it may jump out as trauma reaction. But yeah,
so
yeah,
as we, prepare to teach our children real world stuff, and I'm gonna plug in my computer because it just said, "Hey, girl, you tripping." So I'm plugging it in so we have some power. Uh, um, what was I saying? Like, are we teaching them to pray through and push through? Are we teaching them to not just pout or post about it, but to address things? Are we teaching them to be assertive
mhm.
and not just aggressive or
Or even just
uh,
how to be assertive,
passive? Say that again.
or even just how to be assertive and how to advocate for themselves. So Kayla
Yes.
knows how to advocate for herself because you had said like, fight, and fight
Oh,
can be
do.
used so much, it's a contextual word,
Mhm,
so many
mhm.
different perspectives in regards to that word, but it's about advocating, learning how to advocate, how to assert,
Yes.
and that is something that's not a crash course lesson because now you're in high school.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's going into, well, she's eighth grade now, but listen, I'm very proud of how she's doing it, but I also am like Kiana on some levels. You are doing her a disservice because you come to the rescue, right? She leave her book like ugh, it's inconvenient, but I take it, right?
Mhm.
But if it ain't like if it's not gonna result in you getting an F in the class, like I need to let her sweat it out a little bit, right? Um,
Right.
you
Yes.
you need
And
your gym
granted,
clothes, okay, but you left them,
excuse
so they
me.
gonna stay here. Like you gonna take the failing in gym versus the failing in math, right? Like because gym
Mhm.
you can make it up. Like she gonna outrun the kids, she gonna outdo the sit up, she gonna out push up the boy. Like she got
Right.
that part. So I'm not worried about gym. So if she leave her gym clothes, she just left her gym clothes. I don't feel
Mhm.
that way about her math stuff. Like let me hurry up and get you over it. This is advanced math and we don't need no struggles, right? Here.
Right, right. On top
But
of
I
what
feel
it
like
already
sometimes
is given.
right, but I feel like sometimes, I'm stepping on the toes of the lessons I've already taught about responsibility, about gathering your stuff, about making sure that you're prepared the night before so that the day of you're not in a rush. But am I being hypocrite? Not hypocritical, because it's not hypocritical, but am I doing her a disservice when I rescue her?
Well, you answered that. I must say you are, but we are. You know what I mean? It's not a is we all in this together, okay? We all getting our toes stepped on today in
All
this
right,
topic.
so if you listening, don't be over here roll calling because you in class too.
Yeah, but we are. There's aspects that what the way we are parenting
Hmm.
and the lessons that we're teaching, if you will, that they
Yeah,
are positive and they are thriving and they are doing well. But it's the flip side of that. And with that, and even though we identified the assertiveness, the advocating, let's become get the whole picture in regards to cleaning up after themselves,
right,
getting their room together, taking care of the kitchen because they are of age, because that is their responsibility for that week because we alternate.
right,
The stuff that you would think of, or at least I would think of in regards to being like, it's typical stuff for like tweens and adolescents to not want to do it, but then when they do it, it's as I see colors. What the hell is this? You cleaned what? Did you even get up? You did. So
totally. That's
so
always
it
so funny to me. I'm sorry.
what
When you say I see colors,
the
that's just
colors?
like
The
genius.
colors. That's the message. That's the trigger word. You see color. This is ain't no guarantee what's gonna happen after that because I don't see people no more. Anyways, but
That's
with
funny.
that is what part of the parenting did we skip? Did we not
Right.
reinforce enough? Did we not follow through enough? Did we not model enough to where it's this? extreme. And so don't get me wrong, some parents may be like, "Oh, my children, great." Then you're not including this in this part of the topic.
Right.
If anything, leave a comment. What do you do?
Come
Because
on here. Like
yes,
each one reach
sharing
one
is
and everybody
caring.
grow.
Sharing is caring because there's a part like, dude, we were both aware that our children are not going to, even in 15 and 16 and 17, they're not going to consistently do the things that they are have been taught from five,
Right.
6, 7, or shown. They're not going to do it to the way that we know they can do it, but also the way that they were shown and taught how to do it.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely. So let's get to because we can
we can go. Yeah, we can go.
right,
Hmm.
but I want to teach a couple of things, right?
Yes, yes.
So let's give some points, and I'm gonna let you start unless you don't want to. I will admit that my points are a little on the unprofessional side, right? Like you got that administrative-ish, therapist-ish. Um, I'm, you know, as I tell Kayla, I wasn't always Coach K. At one point I was
No, she
Keto.
wasn't. Wait, so what
So
do you
if my responses sound a little petty, just know. Okay, go ahead, dear you.
use? Well, let's start with this. We have parents, and mind you, and when we are addressing and saying these specific things, we are
Yeah.
not coming for anyone specifically. Okay, if the shoe fits it, all right. However, it's a
We
part
step
of
on
being
our
aware.
own toes more than we be
And
stepping on
thank
anybody
you.
else's.
You are not alone. We are included in this as well. So because let's say the first one I'm about to put out there, I have been a part of this committee for a very long time. And so
Okay,
that is the overprotective parent, overprotection by way of concerns.
that's me.
So
That's me. That's
you had
my what line I gotta go stand in.
like, where's the curriculum so I can make sure I got all that I need.
Right.
But where the parents basically shield and protect their children, and this is from little, but kind of like our children when they're 30, okay? So
Facts.
all the way up to adulthood from the natural results, consequences, or I'm gonna say pains, if you will, because depending on what's going on of life. And so as a parent, when you shield, protect, whatever word you want to put in there in regards to the natural result of your child's behavior, whether that's elementary, middle school, high school, young adult, it doesn't matter. It takes away from the lesson that they need to learn in the way that they need to learn it.
Hmm.
And is this easy? Heck no, it is not. It's not at all. But just imagine if your parents or whoever, your guardian, whoever raised you, didn't allow you to experience and feel
Right.
all of what was the result of your actions. How was that? How would your life have been different? You may have been in jail. You may have been harmed. You
Absolutely.
may have been locked up. You know what I mean? Like there are certain
And some of
results
us went through that because we were just kind of
side of
babied
that.
and not, yeah,
And then there's a flip side of that where there is the what I call just the unrealistic understanding of what their actions can cause because they never had the full experience of the consequence or just the natural result. So like if
right.
you go outside and it's raining, you ain't got an umbrella, what's the result? You gonna get wet, you gonna get rained on.
Yeah.
And so that is something I think for many parents, including myself, that has to be, I put it right here. It gotta stay on the forefront. It gotta stay right in the front because as soon as my daughter wake up, I'm like, don't text her. Don't text her. Don't text her. Don't text her. Are you awake? Don't go upstairs. Don't. It's a whole dialogue throughout the whole
Right.
doggone day.
Because
Did
we
she
want
make it
them
on
to
the
have
bus?
their
She made it on the
independence.
bus. Okay. Did she
Yeah.
do this? Did she do that? When she got home, did she put her? It's a whole thing, right? It's it's nonstop. and it's a whole thing. But I know for me, I've become aware. I didn't automatically know these things. I've become aware because
Right.
we've had family discussions, we have family talks, and where we speak respectfully,
Mhm.
respectfully tell each other about it, each other about ourselves. However, but it's respectful and it's coming from a loving space. But for me, I know that is the thing that I automatically do. It's a default. So
Yeah.
every girl, every day is a
We didn't grow
struggle.
up
Okay.
with that. Like, and I think that's the other thing. We are trying to parent in a place or from
Hmm.
a place that we do not know from firsthand experience. We're creating experiences because, you know, my parents never asked me how the heck I never got asked what I wanted for dinner. Well, I won't say never, but rarely was I asked.
I say
It's
it
like,
for me was rarely.
like my mama wasn't finna be a short order cook for us. You know what I mean? She was okay. This one want this. That's not how life was. Like she was just like, here you go. Okay, now you either eat or starve. The choice is yours.
There's your options. So
Right. Absolutely. Did you finish your point? I don't want to interrupt you.
no, 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 that's basically it. But within that though, it takes away the struggle. It takes away of learning how to get through emotionally. One, deal with the feelings. Because usually it don't feel good, but learning how to deal with those feelings, learning how to manage those feelings,
Hmm.
learning how to adjust accordingly. It doesn't magically appear because my child is 18 now and she's an adult, quote unquote. That's the air quotes. But
Right.
it doesn't appear that way. So as a parent, when you get to complaining about why do you do this and my child doesn't do this and it's like, what part do you play in it? What part have you played in
Right. As you're talking, I'm like, dang, like I'm hearing feelings. And I feel like we're raising feelings and not fighters. Right. And so every
it?
little thing hurts. And I'm not talking just like, we always throw our kids in there, but the reality is we're talking about kids in general. We're talking about
Right.
parents in general, while we are still acknowledging um
Mhm.
our own limitations and challenges, right? But
Mhm.
that being said, I feel like every little thing hurts their feelings. And I get it that emotions matter. Excuse me. But from a spiritual standpoint, I'm like, baby, the devil don't care about your feelings. Like he come to kill, steal, and destroy. And all his little imps out here come to kill. They want to kill your self-esteem. They want to destroy how you feel about yourself, right? They want to steal your joy. And so I feel like I got to teach, like, as a community, right, of parents, we have to teach our kids to armor up, not just tear up, right? We got to teach now listen, I'm a firm believer that sometimes you have to punch the bully in the nose. And when they parents come, your parents gonna be standing there
They already
because
there.
in the words of
We,
the
we,
great prophet Della Reese, we can all be some fighting.
right. If you don't know where she's referencing, I don't know what to tell you. So,
Right, because like I think that might be a culture thing.
right, it very much so is.
I would hate for people to miss the joke and think that like I'm just at the school acting a fool. But I think that it's so important as parents that we arm our kids with the ability to clap back, right? Like they should be able to shoot out a couple of jokes. I remember a cousin of mine said, you either had to fight or tell jokes. Like you have to fight or be
Mhm.
funny. That's what he said. He was like, so I learned to be funny because I didn't want to fight. When I had to
Mhm.
fight, I let him have it. But he was like, the way I would have people laughing kept me
Mhm.
out of a lot of fights. So, like, I get, but some people are like, well, my kid is antisocial. My kid has anxiety. My kid, like, I get all of that. Still
Mhm.
arm them with the tools to
Mhm.
shoot off a couple of things before they get to the teacher. You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes that's
To
the only
hold
way to
them
back
off, to
people
keep them
down.
back, if you will.
Okay, we can go back to your professional response. I'm just for
But
me.
just
I'll
keeping that in mind, keeping that in mind, and with the aspect of being this, just that overprotection, being concerned, being worried, just making sure they're good. Let me kind of put it in some layman's terms that's more realistic to some people. But within that, once again, like I said, it takes away their experience of learning to navigate and manage those feelings.
Right.
conflict resolution, problem solving, communication. It takes away from all of that. And then overall, within, even for us, with our children, as they're living their life, they're learning life lessons.
Yes.
And the overprotection as a parent, you are minimizing their level of being able to actually learn the actual lesson within their life experiences.
Absolutely.
So, and I'm gonna use a therapeutic word, but coping skills, healthy,
Mhm.
safe ways, appropriate, respectful ways of how to communicate, to how to problem solve, to how to deal with things, you know. And I'm not saying match their energy. It depends on the situation. However, like Coach Kiana said, if they coming this way, then you're coming too. But have the means to do it. Because I tell my daughter, I said, honey, sit down. We need to say something somebody said to you. And I would say something about she'd be like, oh, that's good. Like, well, just write it down, girl. I don't know. Write it down, highlight it because they got that feature in your phone. Because at least I know that you may not have it up here, but you at least got it in your phone. You guys got your phone. And then like you may
Right.
like, hold on, let me just look this up real quick. But at least I know for me of having that conversation in regards to being able to defend and not necessarily defaulting to fighting. No, that's not what I'm
Right.
saying. But
Right.
having the ability to stand up for yourself.
Right. And I think that
One
that's that fine line because I don't like the term matching energy because why would I not be solid just because you ain't? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, because I don't want my daughter to feel like her personality should change based on who she's dealing with. You absolutely should be you all the time, just understanding how to deal with people according to knowledge, right? Um, and I be failing at it. If I'm because as an adult, I have to deal with people in a very professional way, even in my personal life, a lot of times.
Mhm.
But I be wanting to, go on, let me snatch your soul, shake it, put it back in your body. Maybe you do better once we do that. But that can't be the default because one, you ain't gonna win every fight.
Exactly.
And two,
Yeah.
like you have a better chance of living the fight again if it's words versus the actual physical fight. So I don't want our kids to default to fighting, but I do want her and all kids to know how to protect themselves. Now listen, we put Kayla in boxing at the end of the school year. Baby, listen, that second class, I called her dad. I was like, listen, now I ain't saying she gonna be Kayla Ali, but she definitely gonna be real. She gonna be a close second, okay? Cause she locked in, and what I realized is before she really wasn't a fighter, but now she's learning the skills, and her confidence has changed. Like when
Mhm.
she walked to school now, she just be like, I wish somebody would, best
Exactly. Respectfully, right?
right,
I
but not
wish I
bully,
wish
but
somebody
not a
would.
bully. Yes, okay,
Right,
go ahead,
right.
go ahead. I feel
No,
like
I
I
totally agree. And I was gonna say just use your skills accordingly, okay? That's what I mean in regards to matching and use your skills accordingly. So, and another aspect is, and I've had this conversation before with many of my friends and even you as well. And girl, I'm saying many of my friends, like I have many friends. Let's be clear. I don't for a reason. Anywho, I digress. Entitlement
all four of us.
versus right, exactly. That's many to me. But entitlement versus empowerment. Are we raising entitled kids?
Okay.
I'm in this line as well. Granted, and am I saying I go in with the intention with this? No. But things that she has done has shown that she's under this category. Right? Has your child, and let's be honest with ourselves, has your child said or done things that falls under the category of entitlement? And
Yes, like
I'm
calling, telling them
sure
what
they
they want
have
Chick-fil-A
multiple
brought to the
times.
school for lunch. Oh, sorry.
Just know that you ain't the only one. I said, I know you didn't call my phone asking that question. What make you think that that would be a valid and justifiable question to ask? Because you
Yeah,
hungry?
because Kayla will call her grandmama. She on my
They have
husband's off day,
means,
she be like, can I get
right?
lunch?
You free. You can come and do it. Found out a whole academic year after the fact that she had her brother that lives in another state sending her food to school through Uber. This is before they kind of really cracked down because you can't do
I
that
was
no
gonna say,
more.
I blame the school for that because y'all,
No, they cracked down. And
But now,
honestly,
is
you knew
that
what you was doing
entitled
because
or
you didn't
is it
call me.
resourceful?
Hmm. That's what you say as an auntie. Anywho, that doesn't happen anymore. But the point is, our children, they have said and done multiple things, okay? From being humorous, how we can laugh now, but things like, what in the hell? You could
Yeah,
have got harmed. You could, you know what I mean? So the entitlement versus the empowerment with, I'm gonna say, protecting our
exactly.
children, it weakens or just doesn't allow them to have the capacity to establish learning the difference between, and I'm gonna just give a blatant example,
Mhm.
adult and child. Well, you do this because I have the salary and I got the bills that I'm paying for. And I got the roof. But however, because that's what the cost how the conversation goes,
Right, because
but within
responsibility come with freedom. Like
exactly.
the
But
cost of freedom
with
is responsibility, if we just being honest. Yeah, these kids.
but the a lot of things that we I'm gonna say naturally learned because of the way that we were raised are not naturally happening for our children.
Right.
A lot of children feel very much very entitled because they ask, they should have. Because they
Yeah.
don't want to, they should not have to. They're over there making
And the
up 10
reality is,
commandments, okay? But
ain't, come on here, because ain't no DoorDash in the desert, okay? Like,
and so just that, and it also has a rippling effect, the lack of accountability.
yes.
You know what I mean? It has a rippling effect, and it's a negative,
Mm,
and it's an ineffective and crippling
yeah.
effect on our children. And granted, for you and your things, because we don't know them, but we all have our things. You may not necessarily know specifically what to do exactly. However, you know where to start.
Yeah.
You know if every morning or every night you going in your child's room and tidying up a little bit, stop it.
Come on
Let it
here.
pile up. Let it pile up. This week, how many times I went in my child's room and I saw that same soda can and I said, I pick it up and put it down. Picked it up, put it back down. Then just walk out the room, then yeah. Just walk out the room. But like, let me see a bug.
See, and that's
That,
the
you know,
thing. So in my
that's in
head,
my head.
when
That's
I
what's going
walked
on in
away
my
the
head.
first time, even though she wasn't in there because she was at school, when I walked away the first time, that was my
Exactly.
warning. But she wasn't here for the warning. So now, when now the TV is off the wall and now you can't watch TV because it's a soda can. Like, but at the same time, I feel like our kids, and again, I'm talking about kids in general because I work with teenagers all the time, y'all. Like day in, day out,
Same as
right?
well. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mentor, like I mentored a young girl who came when I was getting my hair done, came into the salon, and I just didn't like what she said. Like she told the owner that she always wanted to work there her whole life at a beauty supply. Hold on. I think, young lady, come here. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I think that our kids are they are mastering the crybaby Olympics, right?
Mm.
I love them, but they want a trophy for waking up. They want a trophy for taking that soda can out. They want a trophy for keeping their room clean, right? And again, I've said before, like I am definitely that person that's like, you don't tell me, mom, if you let me, then I'll do. Like because the reverse is like, if it ain't done, don't even ask me. Like, and if it hasn't been done consistently for the last month, don't even ask me, right?
Yes.
That could
Yeah.
be a little bit over the top for a kid that's like don't care about cleaning up. And that's the other thing. Like me having OCD and her not having it at all are very different. But life does not give. Let me, because life does give participation trophies. I don't know who started that foolishness, but it does.
Unfortunately,
But in this
within their reality, it
Come on here.
does.
But
Our
in this
reality.
house, because this house mimics real world scenarios, so that when you leave this house, you absolutely
Mhm.
know how to handle yourself. So there's no participation trophies here. You don't get credit for doing what you're supposed to do. You get credit for doing above and beyond, right? Because life is not easy. God
Mhm.
didn't promise us ease, He promised us strength.
Yeah.
So it's my job to build your endurance. It's my job to build your muscles of take because that soda can in the college dorm room is gonna have your roommate real pissed off.
Mm.
And your
And I'm
roommate
the
is not gonna
roommate. I was the
respond.
roommate. You
Come
you
on
done
here.
may have me have a flashback. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, but
I'm
come
I'm
on, but
listening.
let's talk about that because where I can go and close the door, the roommate is in the middle of the chaos.
Yes.
And so me teaching her now, like, no, 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 you go back. Go like I get it, it's over the top for our kids because they're kids. But
Exactly.
as the adults, like
Yes.
I don't want to raise a wimpy, whiny wuss. I want
Mhm.
you to be able to go, hey, let me click key in and get all this stuff pulled up. Now, sometimes my OCD go away and then like mess piles up. Sometimes. But when I look around, I go, oh, it's too much out of place. Then
Hmm.
then it kicked right back on up. Like it's like a save myself moment, right? But
Right. And say that again because say it again. It's a what?
save myself moment.
So let's talk about that. Not just you,
Hey,
but
I'm gonna say this
you're
feel like
not
it's
the
about to
only
be
one.
dangerous.
So
Hold on now. Like we are peers in this space.
I agree. But I said it's not just you because you're not the only one who experiences that. My
Yes.
daughter sent me this post of this lady. It was quite humorous, and I was like, "Well, I guess I'm funny." But no, that was the lesson. The lesson was, but basically, respectfully, Mom, you be doing a whole lot. So what's be going on in your head don't be going on in my head. I can get that. However, when
Hate
you're
that they have
speaking
access to
of,
social media where they can hand us a bone. You know what I mean? I have problems with that, but we'll move forward.
but she knows what was she understands was respectful, and she has been
Right.
staying within that lane. But the point is that the lesson that your child needs to learn within the soda can, and even just like me, the soda can. But let
Mhm.
me say this: did I pass a lesson? I didn't, because after day three of me giving her the space and the time, I know she saw that damn can. I saw it. That's the first thing you see when you open the door was the can, and it gets to a point you just be tired, right?
My petty brain is
Tired.
kicking in. I'm sorry. You lost me because I was like, I hope she put that soda can right on her pillow. Like my brain kicked right in. I'm sorry. Let's go.
It's
Come back.
my brain be like, well, what if it fall over? Then I got no. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, right? Within our own right, it's a whole thing. But within this specific particular situation, I end up just putting the can where it's supposed to go. It was amongst other things that's been happening. It's been a week. It's been the past 2 weeks. So let me help her out. That's my refrain. Let me help. But there's been previous times where there's certain things where um I gave her, granted, however much time that she needed before she picked up. Sometimes that was a week. Sometimes that was 7 days. Um, and how my response, I've learned to have how my response, my reaction will be like, I know you see that. I've
Hmm.
seen it for the past 7 days. I know you see it. However, my response was, hun, when did you have a Dr. Pepper? That's when we had, you took it up to your room after we had dinner last Sunday.
Right.
It's a week ago.
That's such a mature response.
And granted, it ain't like this all the time. This is what I practice towards. Okay. Sometimes comes out very nice and it sounds great and it's like, oh, that's perfect. But in other times, reality, it doesn't. And when I have moments like that, it depends on the mood because then she's a tween, she's a teenager, and so it depends on the mood of what she's in. But there is that acknowledgement, like, okay, mommy, then and when I say this, sometimes I haven't yelled at you, I haven't raised my voice, I didn't have a tone, if you will, because we can have a motherly tone. And I remind her the expectation is to keep your room tidy. If you take any drinks, any food items, anything up to your room, or if you use something, it is an expectation to put it back where it's supposed to go. not
Absolutely.
the next day, not 3 days later, not the following week. So there's that part of as parenting and learning how to not raise wimpy wusses, if you will. We have to be uncomfortable.
Hmm.
We have to sit in our being uncomfortable so that our children can learn the lesson. And then from there, we guide and navigate them through the feelings, through the
Yes.
problem solving, and not telling them, navigating me collaboratively. It's to be a dialogue. Let them talk it out. Ask them questions to have them think. Complex thinking doesn't exist. Not in
Absolutely.
this world, not with these kids. And it
I
doesn't
agree.
magically appear,
And
even though we wish.
soft skin in a hard world doesn't work, right? Like on one no and they fall apart and like wet tissue, like not even like a strong paper towel, like they not even bounty, like they they is Kleenex. And as parents, we need to toughen them up
Realities.
with love, not excuses, right? I think that, a lot of parents, particularly believers, are like, you know, quoting scriptures without giving like another part. Like it's like faith without works is dead. Yes. Prayer without effort is complaints. Vision without action is hallucination. Freedom without responsibility is entitlement. And whining without effort is just noise. Like it's like
Yeah.
we can get some sentences together, but
Mm, mm,
I
mm.
at the end of it all, having our children understand that while the world is tough, they have a safe space in us. But as a safe space, I also have to be a prepared space, right? I have to be the space that you come to and you get the reality because when life hits you and I'm not present, when you're in college, I'm not there.
Mhm.
I need to know that you have been prepared. That starts at 5, right? You give a good foundation from 0 to 5 because that's what you're gonna get from 6 to 25. So at 6, that now you are literally teaching the whole way through. You're still nurturing, right? My mother still nurtures me,
Yes.
when I'm not complaining that she on the phone with my brothers, because again, we don't know if they her real kids. But taking that time, like I think that a lot of parents forget that we have to prepare our kids. And that means sometimes we tell them no for no reason.
Oh, you
That
see
means
me? Did you see my face? Somebody saw my face because I said, because yeah, I'm still with my son. I'm still things for me that I'm working on. There's times I don't realize that no even that I even said answered.
absolutely. But because we don't give the no's, like now we got, 25-year-olds asking us for money. No. Like, what do you have a job? How you gonna pay it back? Like, you know what I mean? Like
That's
it's
the
just
question.
because if
Yes.
you I'm not what Craig mama say, I'm not comfortable lending you $200. You don't have a job. Like, how you gonna
Yeah.
get it back to
Yeah.
me?
But
But
then
then the
also it
level,
goes back with that expectation. Don't worry
yes,
about it. It that leads into the entitlement. It's just it's a hamster's wheel,
it
and
is.
it's hindering. It's very much hindering to our children.
Yes. And I appreciate the openness of this conversation because while, we're having fun with it, the
Yeah.
reality is we are raising just some really wimpy kids. And let me just say this because we were the unprotected generation, so we do not play about our babies. So I understand that that is a response. That's a trauma response on some levels, right? And you can
Mhm.
correct me if I'm not using the right term. But we are creating adults without conflict resolution skills. We are creating adults who don't know how to manage stress. We are creating adults who don't know how to manage their attitude and their disappointment.
Don't know how to manage any
And these
feeling.
people gonna be making public policy decisions for us when we 80. So we got to teach them some level of resilience now. We just
Yeah.
do. Otherwise, we gonna be out here having people in charge that's throwing tantrums. Um,
Mm, exactly. Well, anywho, because yeah. You if you didn't get the message,
I said what I said,
and it was said loud and clear,
and quote me. Yeah.
and did. So,
Okay. I'm feeling spicy. I had cayenne pepper in my coffee. Feeling spicy today.
oh, granted, we may possibly have a part two of this, may or may not, but the point of it is that there are other aspects of what we're talking about as far as raising children who are well-rounded. And granted, once again, this is not pointing a finger, this is including us as well.
Hmm.
Things that we need to be mindful for ourselves as individuals. We all have our own things. Make those proper adjustments for you. If
Absolutely.
make them for you so that that aspect of parenting for your child can get the various well-roundedness, if you will, that they need so they can be that healthy, happy, safe, responsible, reliable, confident, honest, adult. Who
Absolutely.
hold people accountable, but also hold themselves accountable, when they're wrong. So yeah,
We
the
went there
plug.
today, right? And listen, I know some of y'all are nodding your heads like, yep, that's what I've been saying. I've been saying that for years. And then some of y'all are
Mhm.
like squirming in your seats, like, man, like they talking about me and my baby. Again, we talk about us and our babies too. Like we
We are.
but the good news is it's not about shame, it's about shifting behavior patterns, right? We can course
Mhm.
correct at any time. Um, Bible scriptures have been coming to my mind because I'm in a new level of study right now, and where the Bible says, "Count it all joy when we face trials, and when because the testing of our faith produces our patience and perseverance." But the translation is that struggle makes us stronger. Resilience is spiritual. When we don't give our kids resilience, right? Like that's not okay. Whining never brought anybody closer to their breakthrough. Now,
I
that don't
agree.
mean that you didn't have a breakdown in the process to your breakthrough. Okay. Like we just being honest. But I like even when we go as parents, we go through stuff like that our kids will never know about. Right. And even if they do know about it, like they see us struggling with illness, they see us struggling with bills, and they see us pushing through. They
Yeah,
don't see us give up because we know we still got to feed them.
right.
If we're not teaching them that skill, then we're not doing our jobs. Our job is not just to keep them happy, it's to keep them humble. It's to keep them ready for what the world throws out. And that means sometimes we
Even
got to
though
let them
our
cry.
default desire is to keep our kids happy,
It
y- you
is.
know, it is, but as a parent, you need to be mindful of that as well. There needs to be
Yes.
balance.
Say
So
no
tighten
even when
up
it
where you
hurts.
need to tighten up and loosen up where you need to loosen up
Come on.
accordingly.
And don't
Hmm.
and don't let it be based on your trauma. Let it be
Hmm.
based on the facts of the situation, right? Because reality versus truth can hinder a lot of learning lessons. Okay. All right. That was good, Danielle.
Yeah.
Welcome
Well,
back. Like we okay, come on, real on parenting. We love y'all. We love y'all. Shoot us an email at therealonparenting@gmail.com if you have any questions, comments, want us to address something in particular, just want our thoughts on something. We'll do it. We'll do it for you. Just shoot us a message. We got you. Um, Matter of fact, while this was like partially part of a question, like so we good. We could do it. I am your co-host, Coach Kiana Tatum, and this is my girl,
it's been, yeah.
therapist Danielle, and we will see you soon on the Real on Parenting. Thank you so much.